Actually, it was working okay before. You mean because they're both Drongwar? Oh, okay. Okay. It resets it by itself, I see, yeah. Oh, thank you, Beverly. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so good afternoon, everyone. We will do the opening
Buenas
prayers on
tardes a
page
todos.
5 of the prayer book. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings.
Sanje Jodan Sojin Jonan La Ajan Jo Bharata Dane Jabzen Che Dake Jen Soy Jin Pe Sonam Che Endola Penche
May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness which is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness which is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. And then on page 16, please turn the wheel of the Dharma of the two vehicles and their combination according to the dispositions and mental capacities of sentient beings. Kimpo's mic is not. Oh, okay.
Okay, we are back here, and then online people I don't see. That's good. I'm. I believe you are there. That's a good thing. And then good news is that Teba Jian la Hilam Jungri Sondwa. Thank you.
Okay, so those who have faith receive blessings,
Thank you, Sondo.
and or so it is taught.
En fe reciben las bendiciones.
Who's talking? It's okay? Sound system? Okay. Tatende indu somala. Teba yu kare tane yu ne. Ta chu nye chi nye gom drop sene. Matsu tende hiya yore. Jik nye tane kashi gom, kashi drop tende chena. Temba saya te yu reng tu never shibala. And Zinchong person serva cherton. Tende Zinchong per segdwa. Temba saya te. Ta sanji ki temba te yu reng tu never shibala. Zinchong person che go gorwa. Te shindu chi nyen gom drop sene. Titone che go gore.
She Nien Gom Dro.
And there tong long talk about to talk with them by New York, long talk was na. Ta so peche tol you deva. Poye tan tol you deva tanda inchi tol your shakata. The solo long tembas. Talk with them by Sedutan. Gom jab trabanyalan chene. Then the rongula. Talk by Chico, talk with them bas. And Tenzin Kandijin Zingor, Tenzin Sheba, Ma Sheba, Drubber Sheba Kona also. Tenzimber Shebala, Tene Ma Sheba said to Chikogris, Jegin Yan, and studies in the Inchi Losula.
The Ma Sheba, the Ma Amado, Ma.
Tenzin Sheba Ma. Sheba is a grammatical particle that. Not Shema, Shiri. Then the love grace. Tenzi Sheba, Ma Sheba, Drubber Sheba Kona was on that. Chi Nia say I take long it and bachelor. Then Zint of Gore, John of Gore, Bert of Gore. And the dog bit and butter. Gom drop say I take Dog bit and butter, Yamlan Chin, Tigan Zinchon person. Chita Gore Tindu. Tandorna Drobiak Kitchenbore, Nyak Kitchenbore, Lobronchia Kitchenbore, Yamlanchia Kitchenbores.
Nika. Nika Kitchen.
Nika Kitchen.
And so you all obviously have faith because you have chosen to come listen to the Dharma. And when it comes to, practicing, so there's sort of these two areas of focus in our Dharma activity. There's meditation and there's study. And both are needed for the preservation of the teachings in the long run or long term. So when it comes to the Buddhist teachings, there are these three important aspects. There's the holding, which I think means like taking root, dila, zimba,
then ban zin jong person.
Yeah.
Zima holding or yeah.
Holding, sustaining, and spreading or increasing. And these three are necessary for the long-term, kind of the long-term success of the Buddha's teachings, essentially, or for the teachings to remain for a long time. And these are comprised really of two activities. One is the preservation or the furthering of these three through teaching the Dharma and receiving the Dharma. In other words, like teaching and listening, and then through practice, through meditation. And this corresponds with the two categories of Dharma that we have, what we often refer to as that of scripture and realization. So scripture means essentially, that, so the Dharma which is furthered or propagated through scripture, there are all these components to it, but as Gimbo Rinpoche mentioned this morning, with so many texts and so much material already translated into English, so that is, it's through the study of that, and the study of the scriptures and so forth in whatever language, and having them transferred to other languages and so forth, that enable that kind of furthering or propagation of the Buddha's teachings through scripture. And then through realization, that happens through giving rise to direct experience in meditation. And so giving rise to direct experience in your own mind stream. And so all three of holding, sustaining, and increasing or the spread of the Buddha's teachings occurs again through these two aspects of practice on our side, like through study of scripture, and listening, receiving, or the explanation and receiving or hearing of the teachings, and then through giving rise to realization and our own mind stream through meditation. So when we kind of wonder, okay, so is it, long being scripture, the Dharma of scripture that is more important, or the Dharma of realization that is more important, but they're both important, both equally important.
Teneta Chertong Chena Rondong to some comsom, Rang turned to some comsoms, Hang turned Chi zu zomsoms. To debate or analyze. Compose. 다 wrong get은 도삼 곰섬 치고 그래서 가선 도삼 곰섬 세야든 도바세야 곰밭 감대 팽용도 고박하려면 해버렸네. 현재 되는라 다추 희고거래 추 추를 drawing 치고거래 단다 주방 drawing 치고거래 전에 추라 추기 빼자서 점 전지치나 전에 다 ron동 니가 차거를.
So when we talk about, accomplishing the twofold purpose through Dharma, so the purpose or benefit of oneself and the benefit of other is achieved through Dharma. And one's own benefit is achieved through engaging in the three processes of study or listening, contemplation, and meditation. And then the benefit of others is achieved through discussion? Is it chi?
Discussion?
Like debate and composition. So what is chi? Chi is discussion? Or? Teaching.
Chi is Chiba is honorific term for Hieba.
Oh, okay. So through explanation or through teaching, through debate, and through composition. And so, so in that way, by engaging in both of these, study, contemplation, meditation, and teaching, debate, and composition, the benefit of self and others is achieved.
Teinda tedao chun chenyen chesage ne saja da pusum sokbanda dawe jik chungwante ngasuk sunamre teindu tandere jelin chenyen chege bate ngasuge tene randong inare shendong inare donna tsomala pendoyor teindu chuchosaya jir송 주로 같이 중가에 나 지구하래 때는 가서 내가 부som 쪽반다다고 요바때 가서 수나무에 때네 조봉을 못 제당 지난바 특질 제스 담질 제스 이런 요스트링에 당연히 칸탑탑 시바리 근데 배잔디 nom에 다 가서 레부 가로치 짐바리 지네 가서 지년 지네 때네 담마 체비 하나 야고학 고유지리 테인드 다 곰바 냠는 체비 그 갑토기 곰세야 칸다 예메도 곰잡도 칸디 잡고메 다 티콜 레우 탄다티나네 레스
And so, as he mentioned this morning, that we have this place where all of the factors, for Dharma practice are complete. And so this is a result of a great deal of merit. And so in engaging in the Dharma, we can accomplish, or this serves both the benefit of ourselves and the benefit of others. And so, again, this being a place where with a great, an abundance of auspicious circumstances, thanks to Drupal Rinpoche and his activities, it's really a wonderful thing, and Kimbola really rejoices. And it has been wonderful to be able to, continuously go through this one text. So like little by little, Khenchen Rinpoche has been, or Khenpo Rinpoche has been coming, and teaching this same text bit by bit, over time. And we're really making progress. We're almost through, to the completion of it. And he thinks that people, you all probably understand well the meaning. And now we're on the 9th chapter. The 9th chapter is specifically dealing with meditation.
단데다 shungwanda tender yindu nga hinyenge ji kantop hini tsosakyake kokap shungwanda yana chiron namba nyenkan sola tene shungware yindu chula tonon chini chunyamata tamchilinge tuji cheshugyo.
And it's an auspicious, it's very auspicious. This is an auspicious kind of symbol of interdependence, especially those of you, who've been able to consistently, participate in these teachings. And it's a great accumulation of merit all around. And he just wants to thank all of you, the listeners, for your sincere interest. For your effort and your interest.
Tene da chunde nga hinkengi kanza tawa tokpa da meba chege hiri sene nyapchuchine shaashaba ma yinba rwa nyapchusena kasara yinchikela bullying.
Bullying, okay.
Sine, Shamatha. Tene choose the Dawuta. She top some day and the Latonda chamber you some Yamlanchi Devina, Tene, Rimpet, wrong jula tawa towa je yong jiris.
So dampo chu shaken la tawa topa.
Yo maris, right? Te meva la tane ngala nyap chu chevena churong so ngala buli che goro
Chirang
konzo ngala tawa towa yo maris te indi hi shawa tel ke to ndamendo ta nyamnen chege men ti hi shawa tel ke yo mar to nda yo maris en sha shawa ma yin chu rang la sam no kor chene ne tel tane nyamnen chi deva ina tene 대반도 요나 parche ki gyul tawa tokwan je yong jiris je yong molang yus.
Okay, so I'm not 100% sure that I understood this, so please correct me if I'm wrong. But he said he, as the one who has been explaining the Dharma, is not somebody who has a really high view or super high realization, and yet still in this but he's not being bullied by the listeners.
Or underestimate.
Not being underestimated.
Looking down on the teacher, but
yes,
but look at Dharma as the...
So maybe bullying wasn't the right word, sort of saying like, you have no right to teach this, or I'm not going to practice what you say because who are you to teach this kind of thing. But he said, but not looking down on him, but understanding the depth of and profundity of the Dharma itself by really approaching it with sincerity. There's full potential, irregardless, to really give rise to genuine understanding and to realize the meaning without obstacle. Really.
Tene nga chu shinyen la teba shakure segyo mar jertong churong so teba yu segyo lama tang tende lama yu na tso la tene lama ta yedam lo zorwan da tende che jen na ti june tugi ze hilap wang hilan tende che ba na tende tobi hilap che berjen juli je ala pendo yore tene nga sundane mar kale drawings.
So he's not saying that you need to have faith in him, as the one who's explaining the Dharma, that you have to have faith in him, but you can have faith in whoever your Lama, your Guru is, your Yiram, and supplicate them to receive the blessings, and to have faith in the Dharma itself, the blessings of the Dharma, and empowerment can be received through that faith and supplication. Through that you can receive the blessings and compassion, and in that case then there is great benefit. The Dharma brings great benefit.
Wang yi lan se wa te lan se da wang yi lan se na rangi tanda ngundu kap se na lamin nang jo kap se wang yi lan ya yorwa te se yor inje mini hanam topjiri se yor mar rangi nyamlan che ne lamal ne wang yi lan tu yi se tanda che ne nyamlan che gore se.
So when he speaks in this case of receiving the four empowerments, so this doesn't mean like obtaining an empowerment like in a formal setting, but there's always the potential to receive empowerment through the four empowerments, for instance, which is part of the Guru Yoga practice in the Ngundro and the preliminary practices. There's the practice of Guru Yoga, and in that practice you receive the four empowerments through the blessings and compassion of the Lama, even though they're not there in your presence physically. So, he's saying actually there's importance with this word, which I translated as receive, which is actually take. Even though, I think of receive and take as being similar, but actually he said here we actually take them. There is maybe that active activity of taking.
Everything is from your side. because you are visualizing Lama, yeah.
So you have to
you
more
need to
actively
take.
take, not just receive. Yeah.
And to yi zes, te kechen bore. Lame tok tang rang yi ni te, ze go gore, ze se du,
Lame tuk
che
tang.
che tang gore se goro. Rang sem ni. Tuk yi zes, tok se du, lame toks. Yi se du rang sem se goro. Te ni te, jigwa yinba so go gore.
And there also has to be, in this type of taking of the empowerments, there has to be the understanding that the mind of the Lama and your own mind are the same.
Ze se du,
That they mix, that they are mixed, or mix and become one.
mix them, kind of actively doing it.
Oh, actively mixing.
The practice is taking and mixing. These two are from your side. You need to do it. Teta kechen bores ta ngaronge hitsu ju tene tenri jinsare ta chuse tenri jinsare san tene chiron sol penj tojire san ada hyuyores.
And so, so those are some words to begin with that he thinks, that this might be helpful, that this might be a benefit for you all to hear.
Tene ta gom jab se du tangi hyuyimba hyodong jach page 81, very first line at your jom ga sem jom zong war se du ta your te gong zong ni par ma ka ba sem se su gong zong ni chor song di kap salam identify in that word verify or identify, doesn't matter, holding.
So this is which one you want?
Yeah, that this tanda chambores ta gom jab du tende jab go gores.
So this, going back to this verse, which is where he left off before the break, this is a really important one. He said that this on page 81 at the top, without, I'll let it be shared, okay, without any,
Without sense objects.
yeah, without sense objects being blocked or mind being reified, if there is no straying from the natural state of spontaneous equalness, you arrive at the enlightened intent of supreme spaciousness, Samantabhadra.
That the Hindu not so true Kenyan come drop se du dan tambo Kenyan se du toba second ti gab so nga so kun la mi shalong nong le yo chu nian du yak tok za sa wa da wi ji go re song zhe chu nyang chu studies chi du yak tok pa hungry yak is eating grass. So digil and this on kun chu me va go res tomato dan te ngan to cha sha de ma cha sha de nyam len tan jar ge men de ta wa dam ge men do sa na de ne tan che de wa ina de ha na ngone 토바 자체 보서 토바 자체와 영어 말로 하잖아요. 롱 가사다. 예사 대랑 차대 와이나. 된 토바 자체 뭐 영어 말을 tema tene shera perto mares.
So when we're listening to the Dharma, we're engaging in that category of study or listening, as it says in the words of my perfect teacher, that in this stage, or at the approach that one should have to study or listening is like that of a hungry yak. Meaning, a yak just continuously eats grass. Like once he finishes eating from one area, he's looking to the next spot. He's insatiable. There's never a point where he's like, all right, it's enough, I'm full. And so in the same way, when it comes to like our enthusiasm for listening to or practicing or studying the Dharma, rather than having an attitude of like, oh no, I don't like this one, maybe I'll try that one, or this one doesn't work for me, maybe something else, or sort of like instead of being unsatisfied with the Dharma, you should feel more like you just can't get enough. And so as much as you can hear, as much as you can listen, that there's this eager kind of drive to continue to study and listen to the Dharma. And this causes wisdom to increase. Your wisdom.
작전도 적전 검수도 되네. 뭔도 거고 말에 뭐이 거고 말에 강아지 그 냠내 현다 거고 말에서 텐데 건도나 텐데 말에 냠내 탐 작전도 적전 검수도 되네. 냠내 현다다는 거고 말에서 건도도 작전 적전 근데 트렌드도 대 말에 노동 남바 신이 손전도나 이네 지름 조그람 순지 통마 그 자견도 적전 똑약 뒤턴다 지 권한인데 그래서 개체 뭐래서 이 맞에 가서 전에 남님 삶에라 자견 적전 검토고 말고 제 뒤노라 대바당 이체당다 히랍도 선페리아 답이 망보여라 이나 다도 그다와데 적전다 자견라 독도요 삼바타나요 그텔 이치지 거기로 왔다 이체면나요 자기한테 독진 카드 또 카드이나 똑지 말아.
And so also there's kind of a misunderstanding that, or sometimes there's a thought that when it comes to Mahamudra and Dzogchen, one only needs to meditate on that all of the other practices become unnecessary. But that isn't the case. Actually, everything from the four thoughts that turn the mind through the generation and completion stage yogas are all meant, or serve the function or the purpose of realizing Mahamudra or Dzogchen. And so they are actually, their meaning is even more deeply understood in that context. And so the main thing is, like all of these other practices are the Depadang Yichi Tap. Depadang Yichi Lagari Sungin?
Depadang Yichi 좀 별거 그러와.
Dinidi Tap Shimbadi to Yang Pelyaki.
단도나 대바 이치 통마 자견 적전 똑약. 답 장로 그러와.
And so also along with these other methods, they also serve to deepen the mind of faith and trust or confidence, which is necessary also for realizing Mahamudra and Dzogchen. So as much as that mind of faith is deepened, then it only is of benefit to the practice.
다들 곰트 간데 잡고서 나단다 릭비게 톨 네네 곰 유릉법 단데 레탕법하게 영가 말와테 인도 양초로 텐데 곰고그레스 테인도 히 나난도와 다튼다나다 양양 때나서야 양양 곰나서야 대망보 연구도 같은데 자장이치 작솜치 잡이치
Jagji.
작솜로도 작솜도 따와라 잡이때 곰바 전에 줘봐 리우
Shodangrela, Sodambo Gomba.
말이
Oh, man.
됐다와라 근데 자 장이를 해
Jani. Okay.
자니 그 last paragraph 됐다와라 단디 그 따와당 곰바 줘봐 리우갑스 가르송도나 양양 때나 따르면 반 통신도와 이니도 갈라
So the tagongchu sumla jawayure. If you look again and again with no awareness.
again and again labre.
Oh, again and again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maso gom jabikaps da jertong gom de ti on the sam de ne hine ne tabr te ngala de na ndegre sene gom ge tun jegle hine gom nan de yorwa. Jumanji ba. Zokchen gom jabiadan dawa daya te chikchu ge te mayin ba yang ni yang du gom ma to tende jun jong ne gom ya yo mares.
Jun
Jun jong
chong gogyure.
tobu mare.
Dinda chego gare yang na dinda.
Yang chigo jimsen te karesana jun jong ne hine dar du gom ya yo mares.
Oh, okay. And so the method here in meditation with regard to, the meditation that is based on Rigpa, or looking directly at intrinsic awareness, abiding within that recognition, which is not the approach of meditation, for instance, at the very beginning or for a beginner. So in the context of Shamatha, for instance, or calm abiding, then one divides the meditation into, say, the 4 sessions. So there are the 4 sessions of meditation. But in Dzogchen, there isn't, instead the instruction is again and again, right? So not kind of creating periods of time that are
Duration, or
that are based on duration or specific times.
Unbroken meditation that can extend maybe an hour or 2. Because in Shamatha we have can take objects of the meditation and we can focus on an object. Conceptually, our thinking focus can extend a period of time.
For a period of time.
For a period of time, yeah. Tene tate da gom jabena bena landa wo jugumbayena tene tangka jigla ta tene samnala te so tremba chene tene tige sagi sumnyen de rang sem shar de vereng ko tela yidene de na tusu karoji de to bro ta teda we mayin ba ko semgo ta se ju sem ngo wol so te ba zamji tong a zamji chor se de tela jun jong wa ina tene jun jong se de jun manchi ba jong wa tel ko ndo te ji wa ina tene nam to chan ro ro ba
Kasi kana tutu drawazo.
No, tutu. Then the yang chor tani mato tenan zinde amevat chagores.
So on the other hand, so when we're doing an approach like, for instance, with the generation stage, if we're meditating on a deity, and, we're looking at a tanka or an image of the deity, and then we're closing our eyes and that form is appearing in our mind's eye, and we're keeping our mind, the objective is to, let the mind rest single-pointedly on the visualized image that we're generating. And then once we become really stable in that, then the mind can remain there, on that visualization for indefinite period of time, but for whatever duration that the mind is focused on the object, it can remain there. Whereas this is different when it comes to looking at the essence of the mind itself, in such a way that, as it was said before, that as soon as you look, you see, and as soon as you see, there is liberation. So there's liberation upon seeing that essence. And that, because the objective is to really make that a continuity of awareness, then the instruction is to just again and again return to that recognition. If, on the other hand, a period of time, there's sort of a period of time that is set to meditate, what inevitably it kind of ends up happening is instead one falls into conceptual mind. So, so the instruction is to recognize again and again, without grasping. Zimba mipa sumi.
단다 링올 때 양도 짐바 메바 창도 가르스나 대바 잠진 통사래 통화 잠지 추르스도 그 짐바데 랑도 창도 거로 이나 기톱 센단다 갑수트네 짐바데 렙거 다든 짐바데 솔렙 상이나 드네 람송 전시 당 덴베거는 다 스몰 소 따고요 상요 양철 스몰 때나 연즈만 메와 창도 거로 대마도 당아 짐만 메와 차송 상 네데네 유릉보 네데바이나 데 되네 뭐네 그런 따위 톨래 메바인데 되네 단아 공원에 차가 말했어.
So if you see Rikpa, or if you recognize, or the moment that intrinsic awareness is seen, there is no grasping. So just as is said with this quote, that upon looking, it is seen, or the moment that you look, then, or the moment that there's looking, then there's seeing, and as soon as there's seeing, there's liberation. So there's no grasping when the intrinsic awareness is actually seen. But what happens is, during the meditation, there is the ability to abide within that intrinsic awareness, but then in the post-meditation, then grasping arises again. And so then at that time, immediately, one wants to apply mindful awareness. So the thing to sustain in the post-meditation is mindful awareness. And again, in the post-meditation too, to look as frequently as one can at, or again and again to see the essence of awareness, or Rikpa. If for one sets like a period of time, and there's maybe some seeing that happens, but then this thought of, oh, I am seeing the essence of awareness, or I'm seeing the nature of mind, and then that is, one tries to sustain it for a long time before that stability has been developed, then it actually becomes something different. It actually is not actually real meditation.
단디 값을 적힌 값 전시해야 돼. 양초 초 릭빙 오버를 따고 트레이닝기 꿀렁 체닝 그들 뒤천바들라. 거기에 값가 룩즈나 있어도 로그 저거나 이랬어. 샤프를 좀 돼. 되네 로그 저거서 양초 로그서 루룩키나 마도 로그서 칸톤도 그러. 어때다도 전시대 공무 말에 이나 전시 들 때에 하는 공 연구였어.
So the mindful awareness in terms of, or in the context of Dzogchen, is kind of that intention to recognize again and again, to look again and again, to look at the nature of mind. And it functions like a shepherd. So like a shepherd, who has to always, it's like he kind of brings his sheep together, and then they disperse again, and then he brings the sheep back again. So there's this continual the process of rounding up the sheep.
tene rang namto da log da bu kasa kala ro shanyji indu te chenshi ge chor kog ne tene rang ge bi ngol yang yang ta go bare tene ta gom jab du yu tong le chang ma wa sen da de ten da chen bo zeng de yu tong tong yin ba la chang ha ma bo yin ba tene jab to ba yin tene pen do chen bo yo sa res.
And so this example of the sheep are kind of like the thoughts. So the sheep that disperse and kind of go everywhere, like the thoughts that kind of take the awareness away or kind of create distraction. And then the effort of the shepherd, bringing them, rounding up the sheep again, that what that metaphor is for is actually that the mindfulness is just that remembering to again look at the empty essence, to again look at the essence of awareness, like every time one comes back to that essence of awareness. And it is said, when practicing Dzogchen, it's emphasized small short in duration, but frequent in number, meaning
Repetition, maybe.
a repetition. So for short periods of time, there's recognition, but there's continued repetition of that recognition.
Tate da gom de chiron soge nyamarele kasi chusu jawo na chusu cheka jawo na tene ta ti na la yang tene mambochi yang ne yang ta ya te ta kechenbo menga ro teres.
So chutsu cheka dampo chutsu cheka.
chiron so kare turing dong kasi gonggoyo na tegas 다 검샤마 많이 받은 양에 양도 리빙을 sortaya the kitchen more.
So like say you create a period of time for meditate. If you do create a period of time for meditation, say for half an hour, however long you make that time. So the point is that is not like one long period of meditation. What it is that in that period of meditation, you're looking again and again at the essence of awareness.
Tene gom jabdu yang terang gom gore segyo mar tene gab sa gomna. Ha yong tunda chembo yejiri gab sa dong ba ni gomna ke tunda chembo gab shangchup sem gomna ke chembo gab 대바 당인제 gomna ke chembo yor te indu rong ge sem gam dang tunbe tene gom jaga te ke chembo re ina sem jing o ta tayat.
And interspersed with that, there are other forms of meditation that can be brought in. So like, for instance, at times, maybe you bring to mind the deity, you meditate on the deity. From time to time, maybe you contemplate emptiness. Mm-hmm. From time to time, you generate bodhicitta. From time to time, you generate faith or compassion. Whatever is kind of most helpful to your mind. But the main thing is throughout that, that you don't lose the practice of looking at mind's essence again and again.
Nam jujerson chu karadromna chanchogi semni gosongde lamala tevachia so tambo gomtene yon tunge tamala yon tendre gomna tene pento chembo yores
So gomtati koma
tunge gotsuk tene chanchog semgi gomyak gozon tene semota tene tun tsar zo tamala yon tene lama la tebachia so kom tene wanjilan to yise tene
the tsardu.
kom tsardu
So the gola yomare tarla yore.
kana chenan digre
Okay, that's
so keche mores
the lama la deba gomya gola chegere samso meaning ang
gola che shable chenan digre
Okay.
jertong semgo ta dengen jena semgo teba zamji tene yon jene lama chanya da ningje je ya de yong de ba
So he said, and then of course, always at the beginning of the session to generate bodhicitta and to, generate faith and devotion to the guru. And so when you close also, you can generate faith and devotion to the guru and take the 4 empowerments. Actually, he said either way, it doesn't matter if that's at the beginning or at the end. And for somebody who is practicing in this way and recognizing the true nature of mind again and again, then the recollection of the Lama and receiving the blessings of the Guru becomes important kind of at any time in any context.
Tene nyamlen che denga da choronso nyamlen che denga yina tene nyamnyo yore tende saberna rong smol sorti tata tene tande de da somon tonya tayon zavela me karin sambik kono debate je용ro debate le jene tiga rin samyon de tam tedar de mantombe 심현 담기 닝르지 냠베기 닝게 전용도 랑쇼기 그 성모 때는 대바다 닝게 랑쇼기 제용도.
So what happens also with the practice, practicing recognition of the nature of mind, is that when you really see your true nature and you understand that it's due to the kindness of your spiritual teachers, that this realization has occurred, and so the faith naturally arises, and so the kindness of your Lama is naturally felt, and there's an increase of faith, and then likewise there is naturally compassion for those who do not see this nature. And so when there's that recognition of how precious it is and how, others are, not everyone can see this nature, then there's genuine compassion that arises for beings.
That tendency intene nyamleno mangogre tene indene jesont jachu chengak to dik tsikit got
Jachujanga
go
gola mago maso
magom rikpa tangya charwa la yong gomna gom de me pantong gomi rikpa jilo gomba yin sonda rikwa se hade gom gogomaras gom se de yong je sochu jap yawe sonrochi chanro do de yin rikpa kanong ge ngol te ba zamji tong de ma do gom se mi se gogomaras 다 르바 가르스나 르바의 당샤 차르와서도 르바스의 파 당샤야 소샤샤야 근데 요 말레스 메나용 텔라 다 곰선데 가서 책의 비추 당제 다그레서 양양 검나 선데 양초를 텔라 곰리치 다그레스 양양 검나 Tene gom de maybe rikpaten tongre so gom de meban tons. Ta te dawu gom de maybe rikpate jiluk ju gomba yin so da andana
gom du mepe rikpati.
jiluk gomba yin so pu yin do.
Okay.
Ina juriat kan de jorina jiluk se.
Chilo kande tela. Omnipresent awareness to do.
Digavs jiluk se at a perfect what you call said some do. In Rajuriat Nedino George no the perfect awareness or tena matani achir ten yuji mare.
Yeah.
Chỉ thông chỉ lúc xem na, thông bút thế xong tam thế đến.
That's all. So then on page 85, as it says at the top, given awareness which is not cultivated in meditation and in which nothing is discarded or given awareness which is not cultivated in meditation and in which nothing is discarded or adopted, if you meditate again and again, you will see that there is nothing to cultivate in meditation. Nothing to cultivate in meditation. This is the meditation of omnipresent awareness. But we have there's some uncertainty about this word omnipresent awareness. So meditation, like awareness which is not cultivated in meditation, because it isn't a meditation in which something is fabricated or that there is some active action of meditation that is occurring or something to be meditated upon other than just seeing the essence of awareness itself. And so that, so the mind isn't, or awareness isn't being put in some place, or it isn't being brought in some way. Got it?
This is a little bit difficult in Western culture. When we in the East, mind can go out from your body, not literally, but when you're thinking about Lhasa, Jaw, so we could say your mind is traveling or traverse there somehow, even imaginatively. But we can use that whenever we say mind travel out of body in West, then it's kind of bizarre thing that doesn't understand. So Tibetan tang and shak means, tang means look. Look
like sheep?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Look the gonda or combi chile, clear said your fans. Nangla.
So at night, when the sheep come home at night, they have like a fence that's kind of attached to the home that they go into the fence. They go into their, corral? Yeah.
Then, Nongka lived look to Zasa go reco. Then look recall tang, Zasa tang serva, tang
And then when the sun rises, the gates are open and the sheep are sent out, to the mountains.
Tajerton semina. Partang yayore, chor shagyayore, the shagyasanata, rest and what in the Sisha, and to semla tang draw shak dogs, Segrua.
Tongue, draw.
Shak.
Tongue, shak.
Mare, tang draw shak.
Draw shak.
Dog senat do senat. That's all Shine Kumya, the same tang draw shak do on Tabiat, the Shine Kumgoro. Same partana tang chocho. Marshana sha chocho. Same dana de gosamna de chocho. Tendre Yongyak to Shine said. Shine so gumya, the same tang draw shak do on Tabiatella. Shine Kumgoro. Teen do die, then Juryat, they such turned out Mandavach George. Then the same corner, the same Tandichia is in a request to Chia Marissa.
So this is, again, I'm going to kind of go backwards because with what he just said seems important to say at the beginning, which is that, so this, in the context of differentiating Rigpa and Sem, this is an important point because when it comes to Sem, or mind, so you can send, he just was talking about how you can send the mind out, or the mind can be brought in or to rest. So for instance, like, and there are these 4 words actually, like it is, sending it out, it can go, or it can be brought to rest, or to sort of stillness. And this is what we're doing when we are practicing calm abiding, is that we're sending the mind onto an object. We're it's directing. Maybe a better way to say it is like directing the mind,
yeah.
and either directing the mind out to something, to some object, or bringing the mind in to rest. But essentially, this practice of shamatha is meant to gain control over the ability to direct the mind to where you want it directed to, and to have it remain there for however long you want it to remain there, or bring the mind in and to still it and have it remain. Essentially it's to gain control over the placement of the mind, sem. And then, and when that control is gained through shamatha, then for however long, you wish to put the mind on a particular object or not put it on a particular object, it can remain there for the intended amount of time. But Rigpa is not, it doesn't function in this way. So it is not like sent out to things or brought in. That isn't what is happening with Rigpa. Right?
Te indu, ta sem de ninzi da jeba, yor jen da jeba indu, dig shawandas chea yores, rigpa sea de la, rigpa jemba seng do kapa, jemba, rigpa jemba. Rigpa jemba se du da inji luksul kapa, naked sanandrin do kapa, raw rigpa roa. Te, ko yor meva indu, dene da tondo shangdo, che de yagi, 되게 인초게 요리요 잼에 사주더네 샤와 요마로 샤와 동도 향도라서 와시지 매월에 대 트라와 인도 대 믹스에 곰스 이제 맞아 신의 항동고만 나이 곰스 자베요 말해서.
And because the mind, or sem, is functioning within dualistic grasping, dualistic fixation. So therefore it can be placed on an object, or secured to an object, or instead disengaged from an object, and resting, disengaged from objects. So whereas with Rigpa, then it is just naked awareness, or raw awareness. There's no object to place it upon, and there's no subject to be placed upon something, and so it just so this act of, or this type of meditation, which is based on either sending the mind or awareness to something, or withdrawing it from something and having it, stilling it within, it doesn't apply here. So that is really only in the context of, say, these methods of shamatha and insight or vipassana.
Yina da de gom de maybe rigba de yang de gom grace ne. Shigru te indu da so tsig mombo pichu dan gom se da gom ju som se tringa so nyamlen chi tu te som ma to ne shenda me ba indu da gom ya yo mare de yina da pichu je dan nyamlen chi go tu tsig kar pichu dan wa res na yang jo gom se pichu dan wa ra te yang na gom na tene gom te me be rik pa te ni an thong to re so.
So in regard to, these categories of, however, it is something, even though there's no act of meditating, it isn't cultivated in meditation through, through meditation, in the context of, it is still kind of meditated upon again and again, or the meditation itself is recognition again and again. So in the three of you meditation and conduct, there isn't actually any, it is non-meditation. The meditation itself is non-meditation because there isn't any object or act of meditating. But we use the word meditation in saying it should be, meditated on or cultivated by looking again and again. And in that looking again and again, non-meditation is understood or realized. Gomdu meba.
That and in the play the words, yeah.
Play on words.
Play on words, yeah. Then the lewendet is ringboda yores, then ngato. Then mar rimbe nyamdundun.
And so this chapter is a little bit more lengthy, so we can continue reading.
If English fanatic can play there, it's fine. Shodong chadu in Tibetan, chabdun. I think we need to 87.
In the Tibetan.
But on online it's not exactly.
The bouquet kapar ko tsu yare. The sek gare nyamni marawa.
No.
Nime.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Nime.
Yeah, nyamni.
Nyamni. 84. The bottom of 84.
Yeah, but it's maybe.
But in the phonetics, it would be not here.
If you search within the state of equalness, that seems.
I don't remember where we read to, so you might be right. 173? Okay. Okay.
Oh.
So 83.
It's not look like.
Yeah, you are resting is irrelevant. That was the last word we read. Is that right, Lincoln?
No. Just start with 85, within a state of equalness.
So that's the last paragraph on page 84, or 85 in the English, but then where are we in the phonetics?
That's why I'm saying can search on.
Yes, so look
that.
where, so we can say within the state of equalness is where the... 171.
Okay. Yeah. 171 or 2, maybe 170, I think. Oh, yes, sorry. Okay. Nyamningang le yordom to yin samsam in zir don jung ye yersam nyam be ngontre nebana chuni long yang ge yo ba me en me yo la yirmi jelone yene ni mer ba jelobe Kunde yirme zoba chimbu no tamji long doro me barachandalo mutongu me yenso nyambadam sanje simjen yenso nyambadam gujoto dan yenso nyambadam jantong yoden yenso nyambadam Tome John Zan Yin Sun Yan Bi Je Rong Yung Le Rur Va Je Shar Yang Asharvi tu na nyam shar song me. Talalando nyembu juji go ne bese na nyam ne song me. Atati semble konjong rong ye jo. True na nyam dor song me tembi ji la gao drum traman tu. Atam chi xie long xiong qiu sim ni le. Tsa zang ru wei jar zur ma nge bei nyam bar xia yang du me long ne xia. Me nyam xia yang nyam bei yin ne xia. Nyam bar ne jang rong ya chu ni ngong me nyam ne jang nyam bei yin na ne. Nyam ba cho yang rong yung yi xie long. Me nyam cho yung nyam bei yin su cho. Tam chi ye nyam rong xiong rik ba la xar dhamma xar yin la yin ne me. Ne tam ne yin la yin ne me. Cho dhamma cho yin la yin ne me. Me yo nyam ba chin bu rik ba la. Ashar vi tu na rang sha rang sa sin. Ne vi tu na rang ne rang sa sin. True tu na rong zho rong sa sin. Men jo zho tong tar vi rik ba la. Shar wa ye shar ne ba yin ne la. Char wa ye zho nam ki rang yin no. Shar ne chor zong sha zho jun chi me. Jun chi me be jun zhi wa ma chu. Jun zhi me be kur yong sa chu. Yong sa me be kur sa ka la yu ye ne men yo gon do song bo long. Ampon jo me ba dor je sen be long. Ni lo rong o xie ba zam ni la. Sang ji xin ye de men de dao ba ra se. Te ni dong ne long dor chu me be. Maybe we can stop here.
Okay, so then going back to page either 171, I guess, with the phonetics, or 85 in the book, last paragraph. I'm going to wait for the, okay, yeah, there we go. Within the state of equalness, there are no thoughts about sense objects and no reification of ordinary mind, so the occurrence of and involvement in hope and fear are pacified. Abiding in the equalness of sense objects and mind means that, as a matter of course, there is no straying from the expanse that is the true nature of phenomena. One abides in an omnipresent state in which what are characterized as sense objects do not exist as objects. Since there is omnipresent awareness, timeless and non-dual, within the state of great perfection, the indivisibility of samsara and nirvana, everything is in a state of infinite evenness, without exception or rejection. What is tangible and what is intangible are equal in basic space. Buddhas and ordinary beings are equal in basic space. Relative reality and ultimate reality are equal in basic space. Flaws and positive qualities are equal in basic space. and all directions above, below, and in between are equal in basic space. Therefore, whatever display arises from that naturally occurring state, even as it arises, things arise equally, none being better or worse. What need is there to accept or reject them by applying antidotes? When things abide, they abide equally, none being better or worse. Whatever is now taking place in your mind, rest in natural peace. When things are free, they are equally free, none being better or worse. In the wake of being conscious of them, do not continue to suppress or indulge in them. Within awakened mind itself, the expanse of the ground of being, the way in which everything arises as its dynamic energy and display is unpredictable. Even as things arise equally, they arise within that primordial expanse. Even as they arise unequally, they arise within the basic space of their equalness. Even as they abide equally, their true nature is a natural state of rest. Even as they abide unequally, they abide within the basic space of their equalness. Even as they are freed equally, this constitutes the expanse of naturally occurring timeless awareness. Even as they are freed unequally, they are freed within the basic space of their equalness. Given naturally occurring awareness, the timeless equalness of everything, arising and non-arising, are timelessly non-existent in basic space. Abiding and non-abiding are timelessly non-existent in basic space, and freedom and absence from freedom are timelessly non-existent in basic space. Within awareness, a supreme state of unwavering equalness. Even as things arise, they arise naturally, holding to their own place. Even as they abide naturally, holding to their own place. Even as they are freed naturally, holding to their own place. Given that awareness is unchanging and free of elaboration, everything is of the nature of space. What arises, arises timelessly. What abides, abides timelessly. And what is free timelessly. Thoughts arise, abide, and are freed. Their simultaneous arising and being freed is uninterrupted. Since it is uninterrupted, there is no separation into cause and effect. Since there is no cause and effect, the abyss of samsara has been crossed. Since there is no longer an abyss, where could one go astray? The expanse of Samantabhadra is timelessly unchanging. The expanse of Vajrasattva is without transition or change. The term Buddhahood is nothing more than a label for what is simply recognition of the very essence of being, the way of abiding. With the rejection of this, with the realization of this, there are no phenomena to accept or reject. I think that we only got to the bottom of 89. Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay.
We are, sorry. Okay, now maybe we just pause a little bit here, and of course everyone has wonderful questions, I'm sure. We don't have time to answer or discuss everything, but few of time maybe come first, and then we can more questions after the break.
questions. We're having a couple questions.
Yeah, couple
and then
questions.
taking a break and then
Yeah.
coming back and having more
Yeah.
questions.
In room?
Is there anyone in the room who has a question?
So there are some questions from yesterday then,
Okay.
as soon as I find them. This question was asked yesterday. Since stability of the vision and Togyo practice, can you hear?
Mm-hmm.
Togyo practice comes from the direct experience of emptiness. Is that equivalent to the bodhisattva who has reached the first bhumi and the path of seeing?
Yes. Yes, no questions today. Yeah.
Okay. There are more.
While you're looking, I'll ask this. Oh, you got it. Okay. Go for it.
Give me the pen.
So another question asked was, how can we train to recognize this awareness of oneness in the bardo and stabilize it? Lengthen it, abide in it? What are the stages? Does this relate to the 9 yanas or to the stages of shamatha/vipassana or something specific to Adiyoga through Togyo or Textual? Or is it that to hold that one cannot realize the inexpressible without relying on specific means is a fool's attitude?
Yeah, this text is mainly Textual. Textual has no stages because there's no room for development. Either you recognize or not. That is. So that's why it has no. You cannot expand your rikpa. You cannot contract your rikpa because that's a dang shak here.
It's the same as that verb he was using, or those two verbs he was using before, sending out and bringing in. But that was good. You said expand or contract.
Yeah. Kind of, yeah.
Kind of.
Rigpa is not elastic or elastic?
It's not elastic,
Yeah, elastic. Mind is.
but mind is.
Mind you like rubber. You can.
Sim is elastic. Rigpa is
Even
not.
dogs, cats bothers you. Yeah, is that why that is coming? If you. And yes, there's no stages, but beginners would have shorter duration of seeing or what realizing that
Shorter
doesn't
windows
last
of recognition.
very long. And then same thing when we die, hopefully. Or happily, then the first pardo, Chuni pardo, we have a glimpse of that. Everyone will have, and depend on if you have someone pointed your Rigpa and you have recognition, then maybe you recognize Rigpa in a pardo, and then liberation take place very easily. Yesterday we talked a little bit about why in a pardo have so easy to liberate ourselves because we don't have a physical body anymore. Mind is just quite interesting thing. It can make concrete things, but itself is much more elastic and also lighter than the physical body. One more?
Yes. The term shardrol comes up in the second to last paragraph we just read, page 89. Can you talk a little bit about this term versus the term rangdrol?
Yes, Tibetan rang is not a verb. wrong is almost here as an adjectival form, and wrong means self. It's liberate itself, yeah.
By itself.
Self-liberation.
If it's like it, I guess that would be in, I don't know grammatically what that would be, but it's on its own. It's liberated, self-liberated.
And then shalto, shal is a verb, means liberated, liberation take up upon rising.
Arising, liberated upon arising.
Means as soon as it's pop up, it's what evaporates.
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 The moment it arises.
Yeah. Like a bubble, just pop up, then boop, what they call.
Pop, like bubbles, popping
Oh
bubbles.
yeah, bubbles pop up. Yeah. Then what would be self-liberation?
Like with a bubble analogy?
No, bubble
No.
seems good to have shadow. We think about another one.
Like the snake untying itself,
Oh yeah, exactly. Or rainbows.
disappearing in the sky on their own.
Yeah. Okay.
May I ask a couple of questions?
Are you coming back on next session?
If we have time. Sorry?
Are you coming back on next session?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay,
we're just
okay.
gonna
Then
have like
maybe
a 20-minute, 30-minute break.
can you wait until? Yes. Okay. Then we can discuss.
Okay, so Karma Sumchu or Nishu?
Right, so yeah, we break now, and so come back 4 o'clock.
No. Yeah. Oh, you mean Sunday, Tuesday? For eyebrow. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, I think, please, you say you have some questions, we can discuss.
Mm-hmm.
So, one quick one from yesterday, and then maybe today's, if that's okay? Sure.
Yeah.
So from yesterday, the question is, if we don't have recognition, what do we do in meditation?
Try to recognize. So that's why we need, I think, a guru's instruction, that's important. At least one guru, whatever, whoever. And just, it seems important to have trust someone. It's not a bad thing. So sometimes we are happy to say that we are social animal. So if we are social animal, then better to get along with the group, yeah. It's much better than just hating each other. So that's important. And if you have many gurus and difficult to choose, or you think need to choose, then I have good news that you don't need to choose particular one. And Virginia kindly helped us to translate. There's Yingmilingba's Longchen Yingtik sadhana. It's called Ringzinduba, Lama Ringzinduba, Guru Rinpoche's sadhana. And if I'm not wrong, it's from there. And it's called Jarwa Tamki Yishi Long to Jik Chunyi Tong the Chaluk Mingayong. Tamki Kondor Sosu Gordonba, Tukjitun Yunjil Chancellor to a song. Jarwa Tamki Yishi Long to so much Jigwaris. The Lama Sulte Bachena, and Dona Yishi Long to Chuchikumo, Teleste Bachegor, Tindu, Sulte Bachina degree, that Jerton. To Ramnistadi non lapsa de Lama dance at Desach. They were using Maritina. The nature Labjonji, your danger langona. This Shinkanjing, Lamna. Then Yaways, the Indu, Mon True Mantu say Adan, so that wrong the table, the Lamishan Lablet, Ralegrity. 당공은 초벌히 발라 라마지 인지미니 땡고 그래서.
So this verse is all the victorious ones are the same expanse of primordial awareness. Although Dharmata has no attributes, individual enlightened forms or bodies manifest as skillful means to guide beings. To the emanations of compassionate apparitions, I prostrate. And so in this, so first, with the first verse, or first line, all victorious ones are the same expanse of primordial awareness. So what the object of our faith is actually the expanse of Dharmakaya. And the apparitions of Dharmakaya are the gurus. So whomever we put our faith in, the actual real source of our faith is the Dharmakaya. Or the real object of our faith is Dharmakaya, which is no different, from the gurus who manifest, to guide beings. So he said, so whomever we have faith in, that is positive, however many objects of faith that there are. Of course, in the 21st century, you have to be a little bit careful, meaning that you should know your teachers, before you completely, invest faith in them, that there is this benefit in like knowing them, so that there's a real basis for trust. But it really is one's own faith that is the source of the Lama's blessings, or that causes, or enables one to receive and experience the blessings of the Guru.
Okay. Yeah.
So I just heard the phrase primordial awareness, and then previously intrinsic awareness and omnipresent awareness. My question is, this awareness, is it like pre-existing, something like gravity, or some kind of a force field, or some quantum field, or like, is it like substance? What is it?
Yes, Dzogchen system, mainly the Buddhist world, this emptiness and wisdom, or the primordial wisdom, awareness or gnosis, that is basic nature of all phenomena. Dzogchen emphasize more on the ground, we call ground. Ground means, here means either base or foundation. From there, these appearances and possibilities arise from there. That's the whole for idea of Dzogchen teaching. And this ground, the source, sometimes we call it a triad nature that's empty, luminous, and sometimes we call compassion, but mainly it's great intelligent, and also it's commingled with these wisdoms, and wisdom means that primordial wisdom or primordial gnosis and intrinsic awareness, or whatever we call. Is that is not really totally manifest things, but it's a hidden, sort of hidden, or we
Hidden.
even call, Zao, that is mainly a dynamism or dynamic. That's I don't know. I don't know much about quantum physics, but seems when you watch this YouTube, seems very close idea that exactly we cannot pinpoint what this dynamic energy is, but there's something that's caused to this universe arise from there. That's just not a vacuum of nothing, but it's something. But then, of course, when we say something conceptualized, but really means beyond sort
Concept.
of concept. So that, I don't know if that answer your question, but it's this difficult part, yeah.
Just a quick following question. Is wisdom subtler than that intrinsic awareness? Wisdom, knowledge, laws of nature, are those things like imbued in that primordial awareness, or they are subtler than the awareness?
It's Dzogchen or Tibetan, we have few terms, I mean Sanskrit jnana, that wisdom or gnosis, or then in a Dzogchen we have this Samveda in the Sanskrit, that's Rangrig, and that Dzogchen takes as only the Vedana that take as Rigpa, that is awareness. People translate intrinsic awareness or primordial awareness or whatever we use. But there is a little bit of difference between, of course, the basic jnanas that here up in Tibet that we call wisdoms, 6 paramitas when we call wisdom paramitas. That's more, could be conceptual wisdom, intelligent, that is also called the here up. But then comes to yehi, it's contains 2 words. One is ye, means primordially, he means knowing. So people also translate primordial knowing or primordially knowing, that translate in that way. Is that sense, this primordial knowing is pretty much ontological level, is whether we can say exists or not, but that is the fundamental level gnosis. And then Rigpa, awareness, intrinsic awareness, that my understanding, I sometimes sort of distinguish these gnosis and awareness. Intrinsic awareness is that we individual have awareness that aware something, like the cognitive ability to aware, to know, to see things. That's our individual, either we call mind nature or that mind ability has that. In that sense, the primordial gnosis yehi is the fundamental, almost all-pervasive wisdom, and then the intrinsic awareness is individual's wisdom. But in the final liberation, these 2 merge together and 2 become sort of one. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
In the reading, there's just a question that kind of came up in my mind. Here it says, within awareness, a supreme state of unwavering equalness, even as things arise, they arise naturally, holding to their own place. Even as they abide naturally, holding to their own place. Even as they are freed naturally, holding to their own place. So that that seems like one of those paradoxes. But I do have a curiosity. Holding to their own place. What does that mean? Does that mean we're not grasping at them, or we're trying to make them real?
Mm-hmm.
Can you say what page it's on?
It is page 89. But it's just struck my mind as being such a solid thing in this whole spaciousness of explanation.
Wrong sa, Zin.
Yes, sin. In the early, we talk about this all phenomena arise from ground, yet not stray from ground. Means we cannot get out of the Dharma dhatu. But then, of course, we think about use the dream. Yeah, dream, whatever and happened in the dream activities. That activity is not happening outside of our, either we call our brain or our mind. It means everything's happened. It's nothing happening, but it's something you think happened. It's happened in our system. That's same thing. The holding, the English translations maybe not necessarily.
But I don't know, I wouldn't have said it any differently. Zin is to hold, literally. Zin, right? I mean...
No, sin means rich, yeah. Rangsa sin. Zung, it's not sungwa.
It's not Zung.
It's sa simba means you you settled in there.
The parts that's confusing to me is that to their own place.
Yeah. Even samsara and nirvana seems to rise from something. It's never move. If something move happened, that means there's something. There's nothing, that's why it cannot move. There's nothing happened. Seems to happen, but it's not really happening. And therefore, it's Rangsa Simba or Rangsa Latneba, same thing. It's
Like if you said abiding in instead
Yeah.
of holding to, abiding in their own
Just
place.
thinking about the
Yeah.
dream. Dream is a good example. It's something happening or nothing is happening.
Padilla sa is ji, dang ji chik barebe pena ji.
Rangsa is on place.
But that place is the ground.
Yeah. There's nothing but ground, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we go a little bit further and then questions should be resolved by itself.
There is one more question on the Zoom,
Okay.
but we can do later.
Yeah. And one thing I think I want to point out, page 91, second paragraph, it says, sensory appearances are unrestricted. 91. Second paragraph. Nawa jayan rikwaranjung. Zaraso nawa jayan sena nawa lulu jipa nawa the jayan bo chin tene tagbo majabda. Tene ranjung rikpat sor zaryang yore song. Tamato nawa tele tene jeba chi pri mambo shor songayina. Tene nawi jela parsim batan rosha wayindu. Tene samdan trog dogore teyindu. Ka nant sor korne. Rigbala takoware mato noala jeba churwaina then rigbata zarto mariso.
So this, in the second paragraph on page 91, it says, sensory appearances are unrestricted. Awareness is evident and naturally occurring. So here, the key point is that when one isn't taking hold or ownership of appearances, then they are naturally they're arising, in naturally occurring evident awareness is evident and naturally occurring of those sensory appearances as they arise unrestricted. The key point being that Rigpa is turned inward on itself, and therefore appearances are liberated in Rigpa. Whereas if instead there is an outward turning toward appearances, then one gets caught in appearances and it obscures Rigpa, and then that becomes a source of delusion or disturbance. So the point being the turning inward on appearances being, which are then experienced as the expression of Rigpa.
Tibetan?
Oh, the Tibetan.
Mari? Donsan.
So, Hogarere Tinkamento. Yeah, Gubju. Oh, we didn't read. Did we read? What happened when we?
Right. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, Gupstamba. English, page 91, and now I already jump into further, so you can see. And okay.
So we're reading the English, is that correct? Or
No,
we're
no,
reading
Tibetan.
the Tibetan. Okay.
But online is, I don't see the...
Page 182. Oh,
I think we need to
Tamchi.
go
Tamchi.
page 80.
No, it's there. It's the
181 maybe.
both Tamche Chuni Chikdu
Oh, yes.
is the second line.
Okay, good. Tamchi chuni jedu chamdar wa zeling ta yesame ba yin ta ye mare kuchebe darsha ye chu yongza me be yongjo simni la be zor me be koson nun zo jong nam je de hi men zam jo ba se non a jan yen rikwa rong jong za ma trebe chen non me para san da we ma chu na ya chu ni chen bo za lo de ma na lu sen kong lo de xi ba wang yong xiao mi ji wu xin zhen lo me para lu sen kong de xiao Shedran do jan ronging on la do shedran ne jan ronging on la ne shedran do jan ronging on la do xiang jiao yin la dong ang ge me dong me ba jiao nan ji ge shedran me jan ronging on la ma Shedra jo jo ronging on la jo xiong jo san la ma ju ang ge mi ma ju mi ba tu sum jar we sum Shedra sam jo ronging on la sam shedra do jo ronging on la do xiong jo san la sam to ye ne me Zamdo tarwa di sum jarwe to me la jir yon jungwa drwe go ni la ni long jo ba long jo dong te la ngui shi me ba chu go te driwe go sum lu ni cho be long xiong jo san ji long qing ang ni le Chen bi nam bara do pa min yo de xi pin chen ma yi la mi yo na ten yi sang ji nya ji gong bai xiang jia ra yi nam ke jia yang ra chen dang do pa mi ba gun bin cho rang ge rang yi ma yu jo ba mi me san ye lai che ba nam ra wa ran ni chun ni tu son pon yu me jun ro gun po me ba gun be jo e te jin ni de kan ne dam be san song ji nya jen song ba gun don ra me yo chun yin zhen do cham da wa Jarve gong la rong yi yong e cho lu sim ju bin qing wan nam bang yi qian da lo jia chen sam ji ju jiang xie ya chu ni ngang li mi yo na tam chi gun song gong long yong ba re xin ma zong ma tong jur vun zhem lo me Xi yin rong wai jia yin ngang ge si me yo cham da yong do me be lang ten sam tam chi rang xiong rang xi na dor je sim ba nam ke gong ba yin ma xiu long de ma yin ngang de na chen to yo la ju ban ju ni ngong Qi dun yu re wu ju na chun ni jiong me zong ka da ra yong jiong chen mi se nin chen gun bin da yong qing yin ni Zanten la tang tsung bara jarwe zom tewe ma yin be zur shik bi sem rong wan zin zo de ba hin do ji. Maybe that.
So then back to page 91. So all things are in a state of infinite evenness, that is their sole true nature. As on the Isle of Gold, there is no division or exclusion. This nature is not subject to limitation, for error and obscuration have been seen through. Within awakened mind itself, in which there are no pitfalls, the three kayas involving no effort are spontaneously perfect. So the phrase beyond imagination or expression is a mere figure of speech. Sensory appearances are unrestricted. Awareness is evident and naturally occurring, since the genuine state of uncontrived rest is unobscured and unobstructed, with no division into outer or inner. It is evident as the supreme nature of phenomena. Let your mind and body relax deeply in a carefree state, with an easygoing attitude like a person who has nothing more to do. Let your mind and body rest in whatever way is comfortable, neither tense nor loose. However things stay, they stay within their fundamental nature. However they dwell within their fundamental nature. However they move within their fundamental nature. Fundamentally, there is no coming or going within the basic space of enlightenment. The enlightened forms of victorious ones do not come or go. However description occurs, it occurs within its fundamental nature. However expression occurs, it occurs within its fundamental nature. Fundamentally, there is no description or expression within awakened mind. The enlightened speech of the victorious ones of the three times is indescribable and inexpressible. However thinking occurs, it occurs within its fundamental nature. However conceptualization occurs, it occurs within its fundamental nature. There is never any thinking or conceptualizing within awakened mind. The enlightened mind of the victorious ones of the three times is free of thinking and conceptualizing. Since what is non-existent can occur in any way at all, there is nirmanakaya. Since the richness of being enjoys itself, there is sambhogakaya. Since no substantial basis for these two exists, there is dharmakaya. The fruition of the expanse within which the three kayas are spontaneously present. Within the very state that is the vast expanse of awakened mind, the concepts of ordinary thinking do not occur. If the characteristics of ordinary consciousness do not stir in the mind, that itself is enlightened intent, the unique state of Buddhahood. The nature of enlightenment is similar to the spacious vault of the sky. The most sublime form of meditation involves no recollection or thinking. One's nature is unwavering and uncontrived, unplanned and completely free of the formation of ideas. The true nature of phenomena, the naturally settled state, is without transition or change throughout the three times. The most sublime form of meditation involves no stirring or proliferation of all-consuming thoughts. Any abiding in suchness is the sacred state of mind, the unique state of Buddhahood, free of all characterization. It is unwavering, basic space of phenomena, a state of evenness that transcends reifying concepts. This is the expanse of the enlightened intent of the victorious ones, the sublime, spacious nature of being. When the bonds of physical and mental contrivance are abandoned, there is unfeigned relaxation. No matter what recollection stirs in the mind, if you do not waver from the context of the true nature of phenomena, that of resting in the ground of being, everything is spacious expanse of the enlightened intent of Samantabhadra. Since nothing is reified or discarded, there is none of the tension or laxity of the compulsive mind. The unrestricted state of natural settling, just as it is ensured as a matter of course. Unwavering, infinite evenness is an expanse with no fixed dimension. If all ordinary thinking occurs naturally and is pacified naturally, that is the sky-like enlightened intent of Vajrasattva. If you maintain an undistracted state within the uncontrived expanse of being, even engaging in thoughts concerning sense objects is within the scope of the true nature of phenomena. As for that true nature, it is non-conceptual and as spacious as the sky. But if you try to contrive it deliberately and compulsively, it becomes a cage of characteristics. Though you may spend day and night in such meditation, that is the bondage of fixation, pure and simple. The victorious one stated that it resembles the meditative stability of the gods. Therefore, it is extremely crucial. I think this is where we end, but did we end at the last at this paragraph, right, Duce? Therefore, it is extremely crucial that your mind, which is undistracted and in which effort and striving have been eradicated, settle naturally beyond reifying effort. De kapar bardu loyan de bardu.
Thank you. You're patient. Of course, reading in the Tibetan, many of you, if you don't know Tibetan, maybe it's kind of irritating, agitating sound, but that's how dharmas work and think about mantras. Yeah, that's a good way of practice. The time is our enemy always, and since beginning of samsara, that's why in the Dzogchen practice trying to discard time, and we innovated that's called fourth time, but then you can see how does that works, and you can figure out while we need to pause here for, I don't know, next good karmic fortune or the circumstances we will have resume. Meanwhile, you can think and you can meditate and you can study these texts or any texts. It doesn't matter. I think feel sorry that we cannot go through all the questions. How many questions are there?
Yeah, it looks like we have one, right? Yeah.
If there's one, we can do. If many, then we can wait until next time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
I can read it.
Okay.
When turning mind inward to look at itself, I tend to hold my breath. Should I be training to do this in a more relaxed way while continuing to breathe? Sorry, this may sound ridiculous.
No, that's really, really good. It's mainly we call what difference. 탑 몽아다 까바메 바트레 송로 ngọ 치반 파고비 임산데 다웨크 돈이 치버치 모여 말이나 탑이오레스 탑히요레스 아 대인도 다 적생게 탑히 곰 잡통 그 탑히 디치버게 되네 곰신다다 치버 참로라 대인도 곰 잡이 값스 탑히 체충게 거네 곰라 되네 치버 참문로 거라 대인도 적생게 곰 잡도 옥 나한테 곰지가 말했어 아 ramwap luko tene jertong chena lu tu chu ji mero ta wu song lu bo te na tu chu ge nong le mero sha sha wa na tene gu jo ja ma ra te da ko res na pe wang jun ta che ba ta wo song guitar san pe pi bang sen do jun ta che ba san tak ba de chi song wa na tene ki ja ma ra Sam Tonam Yatavata or son, Duncan at a Poliana, Dunkaina, Namt turned over, Charba Javumare, Tene, Jimba Yankur, Shiran Kurkumare, Tene, pollution Yomarwa, Tin the Nam Tama Yorwa, Tedavu Lunga Yizon, Tendricine, Juma Mayim Picone. Gomgore son te indu gom jab de chor sem rang ta de kat chembo dang ma de pa kat ka chembo dang ma yin ba ka zum de ba ma yin ba ong ro sa yo ba ong de kan dang wa yin na le la yong re song do
Le la yore.
na gong ni dong na de ne de zorwa chino o kane dona zorwa me ba chagar tendu o rong wap tong tene mount chota gres
So there's a difference, when it comes to, between, for instance, sutra and tantra. One thing that they say that differentiates tantra from sutra is that tantra has there's relatively less difficulty, and there are many methods, more methods. There's a great difference in view as well, but when we're like in terms of method here, so sometimes in other forms of tantra there are methods involving like holding the winds and so forth, but in Dzogchen it's just complete relaxed natural abiding. So there is the method is just to rest in completely uncontrived naturalness of body, speech, and mind, allowing body, speech, and mind to just naturally settle into their own like intrinsic abiding. So the examples that are given is that the body naturally settles in such a way that it's like a corpse in a charnel ground, just completely effortless, completely relaxed. And the speech naturally settles. The example that is given is like cutting the string, like the cut string of a stringed instrument like a guitar or a piwang, and that once the strings are cut, there's no sound. So the speech is just cut off. There's no effort of speech whatsoever. And the mind is like naturally settles, like the example that is given is like the clear crispness of the autumn sky. So it is like there are no clouds in the sky, there's no pollution, there's no, in autumn in Tibet, there's, there's not, it's not rain, there's kind of this natural radiance and clarity in the autumn. And so that autumn sky is what the example that is given for how to rest, just let the mind abide or rest. So body, speech, and mind are completely unfabricated. They are just one just lets them be in their natural state of resting. And then the instructions regarding breath is that also, for instance, the mouth is not open too much. So it's not like our mouth is like open. It's also not totally shut. There's just like a natural resting of the mouth with a little bit of space, and but kind of not too wide, sort of the perfect balance of open and closed, between open and closed. And actually in Dzogchen one breathes through the mouth because it is easier actually than breathing through the nose. There's kind of this uninterrupted flow of air that happens through the mouth when you breathe gently through the mouth that is just so ever slightly open. And so that's the natural, natural settling of the breath.
Thank you so much. These are questions very, very relevant in ending our meditation session, and this is how now we need to conclude our winter teaching. And in this teaching, also Virginia's, do you want to say dream?
I just had a dream that we should end it in the dream. We should end with the Samanta Bhadra, the prayer of Kuntin Zangpo. So I just mentioned it to Kempo. So,
Yeah, this is really relevant because this is another Dzogchen chanting text that very popular, not only popular, our Drigong centers chant this, so we have this book available, so we chant together and then conclude by these texts and other more dedication prayers. And we need to stop here. And next time, if you still have time and you still think this is worth to learning, then please come back. If not, of course, there's many choice of practice, and everything is wonderful. So if you cannot come, don't worry about I have to come. So, so thank you so much for spending time with us, and then really thank you, Drupal Rinpoche. I often come here because I just show up is fine, because he's kind to whatever I wanted to teach here is fine. And thank you, Virginia, that translation is more than perfect. Means you can add more things.
I hope I don't add more things.
And
not to.
of course, our Sangha member here, everyone's kind all the time. And then beyond these online people, also many are familiar with, and some are maybe not, but sooner or later I will know each one of them, you. So thank you.
Yes, so thank you very much, Ankan Rinpoche. Truly, the special teachings. So Kempo today mentioned, so we thinking just always like this, our teachers available and so on. But that's, this every moment, every year, so they can change, so sometimes, the easy to we received like Ken Boche, teachings, but also this is not all the time, always. So we are really important, and also we have a lot of karmic connections. So here, actually, we are like Ken Boche, not born in the U.S., but some way just come here and teachings, and so I think there is not randomly, not accident. So probably there is a lot of karmic connections, previous lives. So also we are truly lucky, So actually, so you think this is here we think, oh, just not big deal, but here he's just teaching the, Choing Zu. But that is actually, even though in India, in Tibet, there are thousands monasteries, and then like thousands monks. They're teaching many different texts, but really rare these kind of teachings. So people, I think, have to appreciate, and but same time, so we have received the teaching. So we, whatever here, view or meditation. So I think like a bit study and practice. So so then we actually I thought this can was very good melodious here is Tibet, but actually unfortunately they don't have the Tibet. So that's what they call the Samantha Bars Kundasong prayer, but that's okay. English.
Yeah, well, we could, do we have?
I think that's okay. So now just English, and then we can do after that some like a longer dedication. Okay, just read the English now.
English is fine. Chirang so low la yo marebe.
Okay.
Oh, right, yes. Yeah, so if, so on
Okay, so then I have idea. So, or somebody look this prayer book, not prayer book, what is this goodness songbook prayer? Yeah, meantime we just dedication. So this page.
So we can do the dedication prayers first and the
page
prayer book while
17.
somebody who's screen
Prayer book,
sharing.
page
I'm saying
17.
this in the microphone so that people on Zoom can hear it. Well, the people who can screen share, if you can look on Garchin Institute's webpage, there should be the prayer of Samanta Bhadra there in the resources. I think it's in the is that right, Damien? The resource under resources, and it's the same translation that we'll be reading here. So if you want to screen share that, but in the meantime, while you're locating that, we'll do the ordinary dedication prayers from the prayer book.
Okay, so today we can do the Tibet, so page 70.
Beginning on page 17 in Tibetan.
Jire sengwa dende janzo ye xiabe sende wade denjo je guanjo renjiang somje ngo ni jadan zembe zhuwe bekaranj Tongge sangbo jianje zengze ben tenle lundo ge jara xiaodan xiu guanjo somje denba zemba Nage wangjo ji zun jambe yang te den zhen zhen dong me den zi be jiu jie nang wo ge jia re xiao den xiu so na wan de ye tam jie sai ba ni to na ni be da na bam jie Ga nan jie ba long zhu ba ye se ben zo len zhu wa xiu la me tu gong zo ba dang kan jiang wen yong la de jian zhong wa da ye ma le zo zo zhe jiang ne niu de sang jie san lang gu ba xiu chang jiu sem jiu ren bu jie ma jie ba nan jie jiu re Ye wa nian ba me ba yang kong ne gong de pe wa shui pian de jung ye ne jie be dian ba yu ren ne ba Tenpa zive jive na kutse jansen tenjo je lama gongkama sangla surwa den chodo kutse rinla surwa tenle darjen je la surwa de lama dan jiva mi bore chin je lo je ten de yin lo le dan nan per yin chung per Adele damjin rupa ye lan dupa gundo shoi simchen neba jenye ba nyorde nile darjore ando ye nene malu ba dadun jungwa me ba shoi dene noje chorora na woba me be kengwa Suye de yen zan de bai xin choi de de jie wai shui so na ma de jian de ye de jian da yan guo da yan jian na ma de re zan be tong zhou xin huai jie xian de da xie ba zang bai chu xin de du bai shui jiang ba de ba wo jie da ren jian ba dong guan de song bo tian yang de yin and da gun je je se da lo je ge wan da dang je ro de ngoi song je gu song nian bie jian lao da chu ni men ju le nian bie jian lao gan de me jian de bie jian lao je che da ngo ye mo lao ru ba shu yin chu song je dian ba dang Sanje dang jiang jiu shen ba tam ji ji qian ji lao dang song ni yong zi zuo bi a dang qin bu dang ju ji yin nang ba ra ta ji sam ji me jia bi do te te xin de zhou ba re chu ji da dang kun de tam ji ji du zong de zao ba Nyo be ge we za wan di da dang sim jian tam jie nyo da la na mi yang da wa ra zo we jiang jiu ren bo jie do ba re jiu ji. So once English?
Okay, on page 17?
Yeah.
Okay. For this realm, encircled by snow-covered mountains, you are the source of every benefit and bliss without exception. Tenzin Gyatso, you who are one with Avalokiteshvara, may you remain steadfast until samsara's end. Embodiment of the three precious jewels, Padma Pani, who holds the teachings of the victorious one, seeing the all-goodness meaning with the wisdom eye, may you who are spontaneously established activities live long for hundreds of kalpas. Noble Manjushri, the Lord of Speech, who manifests to hold the teachings of the Triple Gem, who raises the lamp of the sage's teachings, may you who are the light of the Dharma live long for hundreds of kalpas. By the merit I have accumulated, may I overcome all erroneous attitudes and reach the omniscient state. May all sentient beings who are suffering in the ways of birth, old age, illness, and death be freed from the ocean of samsara. May the enlightened intent of glorious lamas be brought to completion. May there be joy and happiness equal to the expanse of the sky, and may myself and all others without exception be swiftly established in the state of Buddhahood, through gathering the accumulations and purifying obscurations. Bodhicitta, the excellent and precious mind, where it is unborn, may it arise. Where it is born, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. May the teachings, the sole source of benefit and happiness, endure throughout time, and may the lifespans of all those who are holders of the teachings remain steadfast as victory banners. I pray that the Lama may have good health. I pray that the Lama may have long life. I pray that your Dharma activities spread far and wide. I pray that I may not be separated from you. May the world have happiness and favorable years. May all harvests be bountiful, and may the Dharma increase. Accomplishing all happiness and goodness, may all objectives be accomplished. May sentient beings who are ill, however many there are, be swiftly freed from their ills. At all times, may beings never experience sickness of any kind. To the west is the pure realm of Amitabha. May all who apprehend his name be reborn in that supreme realm. By the strength of this powerful merit, may benefactors, together with the whole assembly, accomplish the intended purpose of this life. May obstacles be pacified. May all be auspicious. May they accomplish their intentions in accord with the Dharma. Following the wisdom of Manjushri, the fearless one, and similarly Samantabhadra, following them all and practicing in the same way, I too dedicate all merits accordingly. By the blessing of the Buddha, who has attained the three kayas, by the blessing of the truth of the unchanging Dharma as such, by the blessing of the indivisible Sangha order, may the merit I share bear fruit. By the power of the truth of the three jewels and the blessings of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, through the authority of the total perfection of the two accumulations, through the force of the utterly pure basic space of phenomena beyond concept, may it be accomplished precisely so. By the virtues collected in the three times by myself and all beings in samsara and nirvana, and by the innate root of virtue, may I and all beings quickly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious enlightenment. Teachings of the great Drikungpa Ratna Shri, who is omniscient, Lord of the Dharma, Master of interdependence, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation until the end of samsara. Through the accomplishment of whatever virtues that indicate the unmistaken path that accords with the utterly pure teachings of enlightened intent, may the teachings of the precious 10th Bhumi Lord of Drikungpa flourish and endure throughout time.
Okay, so now first the pair of the Gunsongbo English.
Okay, but we have it in Tibetan too.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
first,
okay,
we'll do it both. So first in English, and then Kimbo Rinpoche will chant it in Tibetan. Ho. Everything, appearance and existence, samsara and nirvana, has a single ground, yet two paths and two fruitions, and magically displays as awareness or unawareness. Through Kundu Zangbo's prayer, may all beings become Buddhas, completely perfected in the abode of the Dharma Dhatu. The ground of all is uncompounded, and the self-arising great expanse beyond expression has neither the name samsara nor nirvana. Realizing just this, you are a Buddha. Not realizing this, you are a being wandering in samsara. Pray that all you beings of the three realms may realize the true meaning of the inexpressible ground. I, Kundu Zangbo, have realized the truth of this ground, free from cause and condition, which is just the self-arising awareness. It is unstained by outer expression and inner thought, affirmation or denial, and is not defiled by the darkness of unmindfulness. Thus, the self-manifesting display is free from defects. I, Kundu Zangbo, abide as intrinsic awareness. Even though the three realms were to be destroyed, there is no fear. There is no attachment to the five desirable qualities of sense objects, and self-arising consciousness free of thoughts. There is neither solid form nor the five poisons. In the unceasing clarity of awareness, singular in essence, there yet yet arises the display of the five wisdoms. And from the ripening of these five wisdoms, the five original Buddha families emerge, and through the expanse of their wisdom, the 42 peaceful Buddhas appear. Through the arising power of the five wisdoms, the 60 wrathful Herukas manifest. Thus the ground awareness is never mistaken or wrong. I, Kuntu Zangpo, am the original Buddha of all, and through this prayer of mine, may all you beings who wander in the three realms of samsara realize this self-arising awareness, and may your great wisdom spontaneously increase. My emanations will continuously manifest in billions of unimaginable ways, appearing in forms to help you beings who can be trained. Through my compassionate prayer, may all you beings who wander in the three realms of samsara escape from the 6 life forms. From the beginning, you beings are deluded because you do not recognize the awareness of the ground. Being thus unmindful of what occurs is delusion, the very state of unawareness and the cause of going astray. From this delusive state comes a sudden fainting away, and then a subtle consciousness of wavering fear. From that wavering, there arises a separation of self and the perception of others as enemies. Gradually, the tendency of separation strengthens, and from this, the circle of samsara begins. Then the emotion of the 5 poisons develop. The actions of these emotions are endless. You beings who lack awareness because you are unmindful, and this is the basis of your going astray. Through my prayer, may all you beings recognize your intrinsic awareness. Innate unawareness means unmindfulness and distraction. Imputing unawareness means dualistic thoughts toward self and others. Both kinds of unawareness are the basis for the delusion of all beings. Through Kuntu Zangpo's prayer, may all you beings wandering in samsara clear away the dark fog of unmindfulness, clear away the clinging thoughts of duality. May you recognize your own intrinsic awareness. Dualistic thoughts create doubt. From subtle attachment to this dualistic turn of mind, dualistic tendencies become stronger and thicker. Food, wealth, clothes, home, and friends, the 5 objects of the senses, and your beloved family, all these things cause torment by creating longing and desire. These are all worldly delusions. The activities of grasping and clinging are endless. When the fruition of attachment ripens, you are born as a hungry ghost, tormented by coveting and desiring, miserable, starving, and thirsty. Through Kuntu Zangpo's prayer, may all you desirous and lustful beings who have attachments neither reject longing desires nor accept attachment to desires. Let your consciousness relax in its own natural state. Then your awareness will be able to hold its own. May you achieve the wisdom of perfect discernment. When external objects appear, the subtle consciousness of fear will arise. From this fear, the habit of anger becomes stronger and stronger. Finally, hostility comes, causing violence and murder. When the fruition of this anger ripens, you will suffer in hell by boiling and burning. Through Kuntu Zangpo's prayer, you beings of the 6 realms, when strong anger arises for you, neither reject nor accept it. Said relax in the natural state and achieve the wisdom of clarity. When your mind becomes full of pride, there will arise thoughts of competition and humiliation. As this pride becomes stronger and stronger, you will experience the suffering of quarrels and abuse. When the fruition of this karma ripens, you will be born in the God realms and experience the suffering of change and falling to lower rebirths. Through Kuntu Zangpo's prayer, may you beings who develop pride, let your consciousness relax in the natural state. Then your awareness will be able to hold its own. May you achieve the wisdom of equanimity. By increasing the habit of duality, by praising yourself and denigrating others, your competitive mind will lead you to jealousy and fighting, and you will be born in the jealous God realm, where there is much killing and injury. From the result of that killing, you will fall into the hell realm. Through Kuntu Zangpo's prayer, when jealousy and competitive thoughts arise, do not grasp them as enemies. Just relax and ease, then consciousness can hold its own natural state. May you achieve the wisdom of unobstructed action. By being distracted, careless, and unmindful, you beings will become dull, foggy, and forgetful. By being unconscious and lazy, you will increase your ignorance, and the fruition of this ignorance will be to wander helplessly in the animal realm. Through Kuntu Zangpo's prayer, may you beings who have fallen into the dark pit of ignorance shine the light of mindfulness and thereby achieve wisdom free from thought. All you beings of the three realms are actually identical to Buddhas, the ground of all, but your misunderstanding of the ground causes you to go astray, so you act without aim. The 6 karmic actions are a delusion like a dream. I am the primordial Buddha, here to train the 6 kinds of beings through all my manifestations. Through Kuntu Zangpo's prayer, may all you beings without exception attain enlightenment in the state of Dharma Dhatu. Aho, hereafter, whenever a very powerful yogin, with his or her awareness radiant and free from delusion, recites this very powerful prayer, then all who hear it will achieve enlightenment within 3 lifetimes. During a solar or lunar eclipse, during an earthquake, or when the earth rumbles, at the solstices or the new year, you should visualize Kuntu Zangpo, and if you pray loudly so all can hear, then beings of the 3 realms will be gradually liberated from suffering through the prayer of the yogin and will finally achieve enlightenment.
Okay, so now we want Tibet. So Ken Buchi, he's Omzi.
Chivichtung. Dorjek man. Oh, it's also showing here. Churomendo. 진도 트랜스당기. 호 나싱건데 담제근 셰질람니 되니 레다마레 준조데 근도 성부마지 담제 저연 고란도 넘바라도데 상자쇼 예제는 도마시 로용 주드메 그런데 인게 매매도 되니르나 상제데 마레 선전 고완전 감선 선전 담제 주미제다르 바쇼 근도 성봉아이정 메바시단 데니 젤라론정레 첸나도 거정마다 제메는 베제마코 Teje rono joma ko ron sola neba. Sifam jeja nandane doyon ala chapane. Tome sheba ronyon la dobe sodan taman. Rube zarja manga ba ngo jela yishe nga ho minbale tome sanje ringanjo. Tele yishe taje be sanje shuje zanyin jong. Yishe nga ye zarsha we chantong tuje tamba jong. Teje sheren thoma nyon tome sanje nga yinbe. Nga ye malam daba ye gamsong kurve samjenji. Ranjan rekwa ngoje ne yishe chenpo taje shong. Nga ye zhuwa jimenje shiwa taja samjenji. Kangla kangdo nazo je nga ye tuje molangje. Kamsong kore semchen gun rujo nene tambara sho. Tangbo semchen chorwa nan shila rikwa ma sha we. Jiyang teme teme wa teka ma ren chwe. Tela heje jarwa le ngondra shiba sa zi ju. Tele dang yen zhan zi ji baja ren shi de bal. Korwa lo zhen jung ban jung tele nyong mu tang a ji. Tumi le la jin chi me te shir sum chen chu we shi. Teme ma re yin be je sang je ma yi mong lang ji. Kunje rikwa rong shi sho gan ji ji be ma re. Shepa teme yinwa yin gundo tabi ma re ba. Tang yin yin zun zun pa yin len je gunda ma re. Semjen gunje nju ye yin song je na ye mong lang ji. Kurwe semjen tam ji ji shemen te be men pas. Ni zun zun be shepa tang rikwa rong shepa sho. Ni zi lo ne te zun de shenpa tamo jibal. Huajan tu bui rim shi de zi nor ko zan ne dang cho. Do yong a dan shen bi nyen zi hong chao bin do bi dong. Te san ji den zhi wa de sung zin li la sin da mi. Xin bin zhi we min bi te kam cha dong we ye das. Jine digan yare nga sanje nga yin mong lang ji. Du cha xin bi sun chen nam du bi dongwa cher ma. Du cha xin bai zor ma long xie bai rong so lu ba ye. Rik ba rong so sin yu ne kun to ye xie to barash. Chiro yor je na la ji ta xie ban ta mo ji. Dong we wa cha te pa le chan zi te so ra pa. Xie dong de ve men be se nyar wa zu se do re nga. Song je nga ye mong nam ji do do sun jen tang ji. Xie dong cha bo ji be se pong long me ya rang zo lu. Ri wa rang so sin ju ne sar vi yi xie to pa ra xio. Rang sem king vara jiva la shenam de sem men be lo. Nga jara tabu sem ji be tang yen tab zo dang maran. Le din deva men be sem pong dong nyong e la ru je. Sang je nga ye mong nam je king sem ji be sem jen. Te se she pa rang zo lo ri pa rang zo sin jo ne. Nyamba ninje tendo sho ninje tebe hajaj. Dato shemo sumele tamso resem deba le. Lokcho sami nesu je driva nyarve neso. Sanje ngaye malanje resem tapso jiba na. Tanze meya ronzo lo sheba ronzo senjoni. Tenle tome ye jo tenme tonyon yinwa tong. Toda modan jiba tong jadan telo tena. Dewa jame jozon jan song yin ayi malangi. Temo hingwe mpa la tenpa zarwe dong sharwe. Tome ye dobara shong kan son san chen tam je kun. Kun ye san je nga tan nyan temen turwe shira som. Tada tome le la jo le ro na lan turwa da. Mane san je tong ma yin do do turwe turwe. Kondo sambo ma lan je san chen tam je ma lu ba. Chuje yan sun song ja jo aho chin che nam chur dab chen jin chun mer zhong sa ne ma lan dab chen da da ben da do sun chen tam chu jie wa song ne ngo song je nyen da so ye sun ba ta dang sa yun jung wa yin ma do jo lo pu Roni kanda zamba je kunjen to sananda jona kamsam sunjen tamche la nanjura teye molang Dungar remje chorne jan taru sonje to jo.
Thank you. We
Thank you.
completo.
Kimsa ke sumba jek dawo kosong. Chirang so dombe kala ke shimba jek sumba jek dawo kosong. Mana be.
Thank you, everyone.
So thank you very much.
See you again.
Yeah, thank you very much to Khenpo Rinpoche and to Drupal Rinpoche, and on behalf of the Sangha and everyone online and everybody here and of Drung Nor, we thank you very much for your generosity and kindness. And it's really because of your devotion and your love of the Dharma that you keep coming and teaching and offering the teachings. And as you said before, the Dharma is very new to the West, and so many of us are still kind of flailing about and trying to make our way. And so it's due to your patience and your genuine skill that we're able to learn. So thank you very, very much to Drupal Rinpoche and to Khenpo Rinpoche, and then also to Virginia. Your translation is like a clear vessel to help us really understand, because otherwise it would just be sounds and we wouldn't really understand the teaching. So really, like, we owe you such a debt of gratitude, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, okay. Because of the.
Okay.
Next time. We do that next time. Hugging and kissing.
There have been some people who have been sick, so just taking the precautions.
Maybe today is our next time. Hugging and kissing next time. You can wear yourself.
You actually have seen that happen. I do. Yeah, you have to too. Yeah. Oh.
Today is good distance. Thank you so much for coming. Lila,